Alright guys, so in this session we are going to talk about Governor General of Bengal, Lord Warren Hastings. The first Governor General of Bengal, Lord Warren Hastings. So here we will be discussing a normal mains question that they used to ask, that Warren Hastings period in history is known as trial and error period. Discuss, comment, critically analyze. So once you understand what all things he have done, it is going to be very easy for you to answer this question. Now, before we getting into this question or his administrative aspects or anything, we also need to understand that he had a lot of restrictions. Okay, so if you see, he is controlling the areas like Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, and Bangladesh also. So it's a huge area, especially if you compare it with England. It's this, right? And this area he is administering is this much. Now he is coming from here, right, and dealing in this area. He don't have any experience in administration, came as a business entity, East India Company, now getting into administration, so no prior experience, dealing in huge area, huge population, divided on the basis of region, language, religion, within religion, again caste system. So entirely the culture is entirely different. If you look at this is completely homogeneous. Everyone is same, following similar religion, talking the same language, and everything is very similar, right? And the queen is administering a small area, small population. A private company from that country is administering this big area with huge cultural difference, huge diversity, language base, region base, religion base, caste base. So you're bound to face such challenges. Even if the queen is administering with experience on all supports and facilities, will face the same problem and challenges. That's exactly Warren Hastings also faced. So understanding this context is very important to answer this particular question. Okay, now there are some ego clash also that you will see in the coming session. From the parliament, you will see the control over the company keep on increasing. And this is the beginning. As its name indicate, regulating act, it is basically to regulate the affairs of East India Company in India by the parliament. How they are going to regulate and everything we will be discussing. Okay, so let's get started with Lord Warren Hastings. His period is known as trial and error period, and we will be discussing this 1773 to 1785. Okay, so let's start with the Regulating Act of 1773. As its name indicate, I told you, it is basically to regulate. Now, who's going to regulate whom? East India Company is going to be regulated by the parliament. Now, the first provision, the post of Governor General of Bengal was created. So, till then, Governor of Bengal, Bombay, Madras. Now, Bengal, it created Governor General of Bengal. Other remain the same. That doesn't mean that a big superiority or inferiority. When it comes to the internal matters of Bombay, the Governor of Bombay have the complete say. Madras, the Governor of Madras have the complete say. But when it comes to external matters like a peace treaty or war treaty, then in case if there is a difference of opinion between the Governor and the Governor General, then Governor General will have the final say. Otherwise, there is not much related superiority or inferiority. Also, there are 4 council members. And through this council members, the control over East India Company is increasing. Now, who is appointing the Governor General of Bengal? Governor General, it is a company. East India Company will be appointing. Who is appointing the 4 members? It is a parliament. So, through these 4 members, parliament increase the control over the company. Okay. So, you can just look for the names of the 4 members in case if they ask, like Philip Francis, George Monson, John Clavering, and I don't remember one name. You can just recollect it. Okay, so decisions were to be taken on the basis of majority. Now that actually created a lot of problem. 3 out of 4 gentlemen was always against Warren Hastings. Interestingly, the reason was that when they came to India, they were not welcomed properly. And ever since, they are always against Warren Hastings, and almost all the decisions end in a deadlock, and he couldn't implement any of his decision actually. And that problem is going to be solved in 1784 Pitt's India Act. A Supreme Court was established at Calcutta. So that again, it's not, the modern day Supreme Court that we will be discussing during 1935 Government of India Act. So here it is for the trial of Europeans. Okay. So Warren Hastings and the council appointment, I've already told you. The Warren Hastings appointed by the company and the members were appointed by the parliament. There was always conflict between Warren Hastings and the members, and that led to deadlock. And these are the members: George Monson, Philip Francis, John Clavering. Okay. Challenges in administration, I've already mentioned the areas: the Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, present day Bangladesh. It's a huge territory, and language difference, religious difference, cultural difference, more complex situation compared to England. So vast territory, we discussed linguistic diversity, religious complexity, all these were discussed. So he is facing significant challenges, as firstly he don't have any experience, secondly he don't have any knowledge. Now first, what you need to do now, you need to have a very good knowledge about the country if you need to do administration. Apart from that, legal challenges, if you look into, see, especially there are two types of cases: criminal cases and civil cases. When it comes to criminal cases, the laws for Hindus and Muslims is almost uniform, which was set by Mughals, which are partly Islamic and partly local. But when it comes to civil cases, the laws are different, like adoption or marriage rules. If you look into Muslims, if you see, divorce is there through talaq. A male can divorce a female through the instrument called talaq. Similarly, female also can do the same, the opposite of talaq, which is khul. But that's not available. That provision is not there among Hindus, as they consider marriage as sacrosanct, something which is very divine and religious. But among Muslims, it's a social contract. So divorce is allowed. Similarly, adoption. Okay, and if you look into marriage rules and adoption property, again, when it comes to Manusmriti or Hindu laws which are guided by Manusmriti, it says the property will be passed on to son from the father. But which son, eldest or youngest, and what portion, nothing is very clear or evident, and nothing is given to the daughter. Okay, but in Islam, everything is mentioned in Quran. It is very clear which son will get how much. The daughters are also given the fair share, and everything is very clear. So there are a lot of differences when it comes to the legal side also, and that again become a challenge for making it unified. They have a system which is unified, but not here. So implementing unified legal system was a big challenge. Criminal cases were uniform. Civil cases, major differences was there. Adoption, marriage, inheritance, etc. And this complexity made it difficult for the British to administer justice. So that again created problem. Again, another problem. See, if you need to administer any area, two important pillars. One is revenue, the other is legal system. So legal system, already big challenge. Revenue collection, again a big challenge. See, mostly here the revenue is coming from agriculture. Okay, but the question is, who will collect revenue? From whom you will collect revenue? Is it from the actual owner of the land, or the tenant or the peasant who is cultivating on the land? So who will collect revenue? Is it the zamindar or a British official? From whom the revenue will be collected? From the owner or the peasant? How much to be collected? What percentage to be collected? When to be collected? Before sowing or after cultivation? All these are again big challenge. They have done experiments. Okay, and initially it was failure. Then came permanent settlement, Mahalwari settlement, Ryotwari settlement, etc. We'll be discussing in the future session. So these were the two challenges. Now, to solve this challenge and to administer, what you need to do, you need to study India. That's when a new branch of knowledge emerged. They attempted to study India. Of course, the first ones who are going to study India are the British administrators for administration purpose. Later comes the scholars. And a new branch of knowledge emerged, that is Indology. Indology literally means study of India. Okay, so what is the context of emergence of Indology? If you look into, there's a context. Administrative purpose. So who are the initial Indologists? It is the British administrators. What will be their point of view? They want to administer the country and they will try to justify British rule in India. They claim that Indian history or tradition, it's very orthodox, very rigid, very, traditional, and they want to make it modern and better. That's a so-called white man's burden. So British administrators have that view. On the other hand, British scholars have seen our great tradition or the culture with a lot of appreciation and honor. So though initial Indologists are British only, on one side administrators, other side scholars, but they had difference of opinion. British administrators, they always wanted to see things from the administrative perspective, always want to justify their rule in India. On the other side, scholars have seen our great culture and tradition with a lot of, respect and appreciation and honor. Okay. So thus we discussed the issues where complexities in land revenue, who will collect revenue, how much to be collected revenue, when to collect revenue, timing of collection, setting of amounts, determining the collectors. Okay. Now the emergence of Indology, and connected to that you can get this question. 1776, translation of Manusmriti, the first such effort into code of Jendus or Jendu code, Jendu law. Okay. And 1781, establishment of Calcutta Madrasa. These two questions were asked previously. And 1784, William John founded Asiatic Society of Bengal to promote Oriental studies. Oriental studies means study of East, particular to India, Eastern societies. Now comes the revenue settlement, the first one, a quinquennial settlement or the 5-year settlement, actually this one. See here, there was an auction system and the 5-year term was there. So what will happen is, the system is like this, the tenant or the peasant will pay. So who will pay? Peasant. To whom? The revenue collector is a zamindar. And then they will pay to the state. So this is the system. Now the question is how the zamindar is elected. That is done through an auction process. So they will announce that there will be an auction process to select the zamindars who are going to collect the revenue. Now see, revenue collectors, the zamindars used to get policing power also at that point of time. Because police reform is going to come in 1793. So many were aspiring to become zamindars. So what they do is, they somehow want to get the zamindariship and they quote very unrealistic amount during the time of bidding. So let's say they are able to collect only 100 rupee, they themselves know, but they will quote 5 times like 500 rupee. So they get the zamindariship. So the state is expecting they will get 500 rupee and they plan their policies and everything like that. That's a revenue expectation, right? But 5-year term is there. You cannot remove before 5 years. Zamindars know the maximum they can get is 100 and they will try to exploit the peasants the maximum. Okay. So ultimately they will not pay to the state also, as they cannot meet the requirement. Even if they collect 100 or 200, they will pay some 30, 40, 50. I'm just giving you some example. And they can tell that they were not able to collect. In that case, what will happen? You will lose the zamindariship. So state is not getting the revenue which is expected. Peasants are exploited very badly. Only the zamindars are getting benefit and getting richer and richer quicker. Okay, that's the flow of this. Then what happened is, they have realized this 5-year term is a big problem. They changed it to 1 year. But the system remained the same. Here, the problem is not with year. The problem, the root cause is the bidding process or the auction process, and they quote unrealistic amount. So that should not be there. That will be changed in 1793 permanent settlement during the time of Lord Cornwallis. That we will be discussing in the next video when we talk about Lord Cornwallis. As of now, I hope this is clear. So this is an experiment again. Now all these experiments are leading to better administration in the future. So that's actually a contribution of Lord Warren Hastings. Now remember guys, even if you're answering the question trial and error, always be in a position to appreciate Warren Hastings' effort. So is the first Governor General, no experience, doing all these, which eventually helped his successors to have a long, big empire in India. 200 years. All right, okay. So unrealistic bids, and that led to exploitation of the peasants. Now comes Pitt's India Act. As I have told you, regulating act. There were 4 members, 3 out of them always creating problem and lead to deadlock. Now in Pitt's India Act, that problem is going to be solved. So it's named after Prime Minister Pitt. And what happened is, it reduced the council members from 4 to 3. So now Governor General plus 3 members. Earlier Governor General plus 4 members. Now there is casting vote given to Governor General in case of equality. So first everyone can vote, including Governor General. That means Governor General will get the support of 1 person from the 3, 2 votes in his favor, right? The other 2, this is a case of equality. That means if you get support of 2 or 3, all the 3, it is very good. Okay, if you get the support of one person, it is equality. In case of equality, whose decision will come? Because of casting vote, Governor General will have the final say, which means you just need one vote, one member's support to get your decision implemented at this point of time. But if all the three are against you, you cannot do. But to get one person, that by hook or crook or in any way, you can get that. So that problem is solved now. So remember, now you just need the support of one person. In that case, it will become equal and then casting vote is there. So Governor General will have the final say. Only if all the members are against Governor General, he cannot implement the decision. That time there is no relevance for casting vote also. I hope this is very clear. Now the Board of Control was established in England, who's sitting in England with 6 members and controlling the affairs of East India Company in India. Okay, and this will be continued till 1858 and again it will continue with a name change that we will discuss after Crowns take up the administration. Okay, so Board of Control will be there till 1857 and they are sitting in England and control. See, the council members are in India with the Governor General regulating the company. Now, Pitt's India Act, they added Board of Control. That means the control over the company by the Parliament keep increasing. Okay, so the parliamentary oversight or the control increasing. Now, the Board of Control and its impact, established in England, monitors East India Company's affairs in India, work with company's board of directors, system last until the Crown take control and continued also with the name change. Now there is a recall provision in the Pitt's India Act. So one, the members reduced from 4 to 3, then the Board of Control and now recall. Recall means, see, who's appointing the Governor General? Company. Who's appointing the members or the council members? Parliament. So Parliament appointment, Parliament can recall any time. But company appointment, what's the case now? Even the Governor General is appointed by the company, still Parliament can recall if not satisfied with the Governor General. That means Parliament now have the power to recall any of its official, including Governor General, though Governor General is appointed by the company. Okay, so that's about this provision, authority to recall any Indian official, increased oversight of company operations, officials answerable to the British Parliament. So if dissatisfied with the performance, they can recall. Warren Hastings also faced legal troubles because actually there was a Bengali trader whose name was Nanda Kumar. He accused Warren Hastings in a corruption case. Okay, and later on, this Nanda Kumar was hanged in a fabricated case, a forgery case, and most of them believe, of course, it as a fabricated case as he accused the Governor General for corruption. In that case, Warren Hastings tried for murder. The trial was there, but he was acquitted because of lack of evidence. So that's the legal trouble that he faced towards the end of his career. The same thing as what I've mentioned here. I'll share the PDF. You can download with the link which is given below. See, he led the administrative, from the discussion what you can understand, he led the basic administrative foundation, okay, and that helped the successors to continue and better administration. Revenue experiments he did, that led to the permanent settlement in 1793, and cultural understanding, he promoted Indology and everything. These are contributions of Warren Hastings you can write. See, one thing which I can tell you, instead of Warren Hastings, whoever is going to come in his position, bound to make mistakes. So it's not just Warren Hastings period in history is known as trial and error period. That period is bound to be a trial and error period because of the reasons which I have told you. Okay. So a lot of challenges he faced. So you can either write positively or negatively. You cannot simply write negatively. Then that says your understanding of history is very weak. You need to understand the context and write the answer. If he is in 1857 or 1883 time he is administering and making those mistakes, that's not good. But here I'm not saying it is good or anything, but that led to a lot of, that's how they built the big empire. He led that basic foundation. Okay, so you can write positively also towards the end, his attempts, and he helped his successors, and better revenue policies are coming later, better administration is coming later. Okay. the importance of studying Governor General, how the policy evolved, historical context, administrative development. This, anyway, we are going to proceed further. You will get a better understanding. Complexity of British rule. So this is about this topic actually. So I hope you got a very good idea about Governor General of Bengal, the first Governor General of Bengal, Warren Hastings. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next video.